the Seattle Seahawks schedule is officially released, and it's exciting. We all know there was a lot of leaks on the internet today about the schedule, and nobody knows if it was accurate or not, but we are officially here, and we're going to talk about the entire schedule as a whole, and if we're excited about a game, and I'm going to tell you if I'm a little worried about a game. And it's always fun to see the schedule, right? It's hard to predict in a season like this where we have a brand new head coach, where we aren't 100% sure what our defense is going to look like, even though he's a defensive coach. And our offense, I'm not too worried about because it's been the same offense. We'll just see what Ryan Grubb does as an offensive coordinator, but it will show up and show out. And I think we got a lucky draw when we look at the schedule for the first two games of the season. At home against the Broncos and on the road against New England. And there's one simple reason. Bo Nix, Denver Broncos, rookie quarterback. It's going to be his debut to the NFL against a Mike Macdonald-led defense who is known for turning around defenses. Now, hopefully by week one, our defense is ready to go and is exactly what we expect Mike Macdonald to do, which is make a defense really special. But regardless, I think just based on his schemes and the coach that he is, it's going to be hard for a rookie quarterback like Bo Nix to go against our defense. Just the way that it's played. Forget personnel if it's ready or not, but it's going to be tough. And rookie quarterbacks don't usually have really good success against good head coaches and good defenses. So Bo Nix week one is a nice touch there. And then week two, it's most likely Drake May. They're saying Jacoby Brissett might start, but either one of the two, I think either way, it's not a big threat to me. It's not the Patriots of the past. It's in September. It's not like in December where it's going to be snowing or extremely cold or anything. It's in September. And if it's another rookie quarterback against a Mike Macdonald-led defense, I'm feeling pretty confident that this could go in our favor again. So first 2 weeks, I like what I'm seeing. And then the schedule picks up. We have the Dolphins at home week 3. Now, there's one thing you can always know about this Dolphins team. A couple things. Tua seems to play good in better weather, and in the beginning of the year, they always come out hot. Ever since Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins coach, not Mike Macdonald, the Seahawks coach, Mike McDaniel and Tua have come out and been really good at the beginning of seasons, and they've been good in good weather games. Now, September 22nd in Seattle, we're not sure. Well, who knows? It could still be drizzling rain, but it could also be a nice 60, 70 degree day and sunny. So it's kind of hard to assess what the weather in the situation will be like. But I do understand that they're a team that have been growing to try to win a Super Bowl and make playoffs. So it might be a little bit tougher of a game than those first two. But overall, because it's at home, I'm not necessarily as worried as if it was traveling all the way to Miami, like one of the furthest destinations outside of the international games that you can get to. And I think there's a decent shot that this team, if they're good enough, we could start off the season hot at 3-0. Now, if out of those 3 games, there's one loss that I would put on it, it would be that Dolphins game. But who knows? And then you go to Detroit Monday Night Football. That's one of the toughest games on this entire schedule. Jared Goff just got paid. That team is growing, trying to become a Super Bowl contender in this league. That's going to be a hard one in Detroit on Monday Night Football. If I had to guess from now, I'd probably mark it as a loss. I'm not going to do this for every single game, mark a win or loss from now. But that's a tough game. Then you go to New York. New York's also an interesting situation. We don't know how good Daniel Jones is. We don't know what that team is going to look like. Not the toughest game at home to have. I think I said go to New York, but we go to New York on the schedule. It's at home. So not a game that also scares me too much. So let's just start with those 5 games here for a second. I see a very possible 3-2 or 4-1 in those first games, regardless of how good this team's going to be. Remember, we started off pretty hot last year, 6-2 or 6-3 until we faced Mike Macdonald's defense in Baltimore and got our ass kicked like 37-3. And we didn't even make the playoffs. So sometimes starting hot doesn't always mean the whole season's going to go great, but I do think we have a good opportunity to start off 4-1, 3-2 to start that year. And the schedule, in my eyes, gets pretty tough going forward. You have San Francisco on Thursday Night Football at home. No matter if it's at home, on the road, Brock Purdy, or a different quarterback, doesn't freaking matter. The 49ers show up and show out, always. Don't love them. If you're a Seahawks fan, don't love them. But they've been finding ways to be a Super Bowl contender for the last 5 years. Not Super Bowl winners, but Super Bowl contenders. So that's always going to be a tough game. And then on the road in Atlanta, if Kirk Cousins is fully healthy and going, that's always a tough game. And then Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen come to Seattle, tough game. Matt Stafford and the Rams, always a tough game. So after that first, those first 3 games, I don't mind. Broncos, Patriots, and Dolphins, 2 at home. But once you start hitting Detroit, San Francisco, Atlanta, Buffalo, LA, things are getting tough. But we have a nice, much needed Week 10 bye week. I like it much better than last week's Week 5 bye week, way too early in the season. This Week 10 bye week fits kind of nicely. Week 9 or 10 is a perfect right in the middle type of season. There's 18 weeks, so 9, I guess, would be the exact middle, or 10 if you consider you've played 9 games, whatever. It's right in the middle of the 18-week season. And we're going to need that before we go on this stretch. On the road to San Francisco. Already had a tough one against them on Thursday Night Football. You got another tough one against them, November 17th. And then Cardinals at home with Kyler Murray. And then you go to New York to play the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. And then on the road to Arizona, which is basically like playing in Seattle with that crowd. But it's Kyler Murray, and that team's tough. And that stadium has not been friendly to us in a lot of different ways. And then the end of the season is where you get back to, can we win 2 or 3 out of these 4 and sneak into the playoffs? And that's where I like the schedule. Sunday Night Football at home against Green Bay. Now, Green Bay is a good team. We saw them last year. They're a very good team. But does it scare me to play them at home on Sunday Night Football under the bright lights of Seattle? Not as much as if we were going to Lambeau. And then you have the Vikings at home. Also a good roster, but it's J.J. McCarthy. We don't know what he's going to be by this point. And even if he's getting pretty good, rookie quarterback. That's the third rookie quarterback we'd be playing at this point. Broncos, and then the Patriots, and then we get back to the rookie games, which is Minnesota, and then in Chicago, December 26th, the day after Christmas, Thursday Night Football against the Bears and Caleb Williams. Regardless, like I said, Green Bay, winnable. Minnesota at home, definitely winnable. And then Chicago, Thursday Night Football, it's winnable, but who knows? We'll see what the weather is. We'll see if Caleb Williams actually is the next coming of Patrick Mahomes or not. But another rookie quarterback on the schedule. And then last but not least, either January 4th or 5th, I think it could get flexed either a Saturday or a Sunday, is on the road in LA. That game intrigues me because I could see this team, by the point you get to LA week 18, be somewhere around 8-8, 7-9, 9-7, somewhere in that range, and playing a divisional opponent and the Rams, who are also a team with Matt Stafford that are trying to build to go back to another Super Bowl is what they're trying to do, and trying to win another one like they did. That could be a game where it's a deciding factor for a playoffs, for a division, for the last wild card spot. So overall, I think this season has a lot of ebbs and flows, it looks like. It has a little bit of a lighter schedule at the beginning. It gets a little tough before the bye week, but then you get a couple games at the end again where are very winnable and might put you in a position where you just got to win another big game or two at the end of the season to sneak yourself into a playoffs or to have a successful winning season year 1 with Mike Macdonald. And that's what I want to get to. The schedule doesn't tell you everything about a team, obviously. It's fun to see. It's fun to plan out. Oh, I'll be in Arizona December 8th for that Cardinals game. Oh, I've been dying to make a trip to Detroit for a game. Looks like Monday night on September 30th. If I can make it, cool. It's a fun way to look at that. When's our bye week? How's things going to shape out? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be fully healthy come week 13? It's cool to experience a schedule in those type of ways. But at the end of the day, it's all going to depend on what this team looks like week 1, 2, and 3. It's hard to assess with a new coach. It's hard to assess in a new system. But at the end of the day, based off what I know about Mike Macdonald so far and about the offense that we already had, the offense is not revamped. The offensive line is probably going to be better. And the offense in general has been pretty decent from the get-go. So we'll see what that defense is. That's going to determine a lot of what that season's going to look like. We talked about this on our podcast, me and my brother. If you go to Seattle on Tap on YouTube, It's in the links in the description. You can find us everywhere on Seattle Tap. SeattleOnTap.com with all our merch and different things. We put up the Win sunglasses last year, and they actually used it in their video today, like for the schedule release. That's at SeattleOnTap.com. I'll put it up on the screen here. That is like, this team, when you're putting out these schedules and stuff, it's really cool to see. But what can this guy do for these defenses? So we talked about on that podcast. What kind of defense is he going to have? Because he made Baltimore's defense a team that scares other teams. Seattle went there at 6-3 and lost like 37-3. He made Patrick Mahomes have a tough game in the playoffs. I know the Chiefs won, but it was a tough game. He made the Texans. They beat the Texans 30-10 or something like that. They shut down C.J. Stroud for quite some time. Patrick Queen got paid for the Steelers. A lot of other guys got paid because of how good that defense turned out because of Mike McDonald. So if he can make that defense 10%, 15% better than last year or the last 2 years, you could be looking at a team that already has a good offense that can sit somewhere at 9-8, 10-7. And if that's what happens in their first year, even if they go 8-9 in the first year, patience. Pete Carroll, the Super Bowl winning head coach, one of the best coaches in football history. Let's not say NFL or college specifically. In football history, he's won on both levels. He struggled for a year or two. Yeah, we made a playoffs once with him with a losing record. The division wasn't very good, but they were not the world beaters that they were once he actually got going further into his career. So if you have a good, successful season, whether that's 7-10, 8-9, 9-8, that's something you can be proud of for a first-year head coach. So let's hope this happens. Let's brace ourselves, and let's see what happens with this schedule and how it shapes out as the year goes. Let me know in the comments, what game would you choose? One road game. Give me a road game. What road game would you choose to go to if you could pick one on this entire schedule? My choice is either Monday night in Detroit or Thursday night against the Bears in Chicago in December. Some snow. Could be interesting. Let me know in the comments. I love you all. Make sure you always like and subscribe. Show me some love. And like I said, check out SeattleOnTap.com. Our merchandise. You can find all our podcasts and all our Seattle sports stuff there. We have a Sonics page on YouTube, Mariners, Seahawks, and Huskies. And those links are in my description here below this video. So I love y'all, and we'll be back next time. Thanks for showing me love. I really appreciate it. Peace.